On the first day in her new cage, Tatiana Correa de Lima did not recognize herself. "It was supernatural to see myself in a glass once again," says the 26-year-old mom of two who is serving a 12-year verdict in Brazil. At first I didn't aware who I was. The Southward US nation has the planet's 4 greatest jail people, and its jails routinely go by the searchlight for their impoverished facility, in persistent overpopulation and mob abuse, provocative fatal atrocity. Lima had fair been excited of a jail in the main repentance framework to a installation run by the Associate for the Protect and Aid to Convicts, APAC, in the city of Itana, in Minas Gerais country. In comparison within the main framework, that steals yours femininity, as Lima puts it, at the APAC prison she is permitted to carry her own clothing and include a glass, do-up and wool colorant. But the distinction among the regimes is far more than rather than leather deep. The APAC framework has been getting increasing acceptance as a more secure, more profitable, and more than humanistic reply to the nation's jail meltdown. On March 20, a new APAC prison outdoor in Rondônia, the at first in the nation's polar, take the quantity means run by the Associate ubiquitous to 49. All APAC prisoners must include gone via the main framework and must show regret and be readily to pursue the stringent mode of job and research that is portion of the framework's philosophical. Down there are no guard or arms, and visitors are welcomed by an prisoner who unlocks the major doorway to the little female's prison. The prisoner leads the way to the marital package, a vividly adorned chamber in a dual bed wherever female are permitted to expend individual period in partners newcomer of external the prison. She later shows visitors to a chamber wherever female are marking glass container of laundry soap how will be sold out external. APAC imprisonment were set up by a team of Catholics in 1972 and are now company ordinated and backed by the Italian non-governmental organization AVSI Basis and the Brazilian Brotherhood of Aid to Convicts. AVSI Brazil's defect president, Jacopo Sabatiello, says loving and job are the priorities in these penitentiaries. There, we urge all by their behalf, not by a quantity and not by nicknames, that they might include purchased for a lifetime of criminality, he says. Inmates are named as recuperandos, convalescent human beings, showing the APAC attention on rehabilitation, judiciary, and rehab. They must research and job, occasionally in cooperation in the regional society. If they do not, or if they try to escape, they hazard creature refundable to the main framework. Down there include been natural fights but never a assassination at an APAC prison, says Mr. Sabatiello. He says the lack of guard reduces the stress. Several of the female there are serving lifetime sentences and include devoted vile crimes, but the ambience is tranquility. I am yet hard to overlook my old jail quantity, says Aguirre Mara Patricia Silvia Campos, who now heads a jail justice how liaises in the authority. Campos consumable 4 persons months in a main prison next a belief for narcotic trade, an associate following 26 grams of fracture crack cocaine were found in the household she shared in her former husband. We were all deserted in along, 20 inmates asleep on the story on vile mattresses, and the meal was uneatable, she says. She says how her loved ones were stripe searched on every trip, a experience that lot women inmates complain about on. But the position of Campos as well reflects broad problems in Brazil's jail framework. Experts say female are frequently trapped up in criminality via a man affiliate and later deserted in a cage in tempered criminals. It is one cause why Brazil's woman jail people has seen a cliff growth in latter year. I knew anything on criminality while I went in how jail, says Campos. This female following to me had beheaded her neighbor and transferred her chief in a bag. The mom of 2 is now razor days off her 8-year verdict via job and has progressed to the semi-open mode at the prison. Reduction, a verdict via job and research is as well allowed in the main framework, but it is seldom attached, says Magistrate Antonio de Carvalho, who supports the APAC framework in Itana. He's a sad reflect on the main framework how APACs are praised for supporting the act, he says. I'm in no question how APACs are an efficient way to warranty prisoners' humane rights during the Brazilian repentance framework. For currently, Lima remnant in the close mode of the jail, in less preference, and has to earn money her development to the semi-open region. All new inmates come the close mode and must earn money their transmission in the semi-open mode. Prisoners may later advance to the outdoor mode, wherever they are permitted to keep the prison 1 day a 1 week. Yet, though during the jail walls Lima has found a young man meeting in her cage, she relates how she and her fellow inmate Vivian Campos, 38, began today a couple of friends at the men's APAC jail through city following send letters via the jail authority. Affirmative, we love to get human beings along, says Eduardo Henrique Alves de Oliveira of the Brazilian Brotherhood of Aid to Convicts. We wish all the recuperandos to sense so there. In the courtyard external, under the mesh how partially relating the heaven, is the APAC communication, no fleas of loving.